Now comes the, I suppose, the trickiest of these reported speech questions, which is to report questions, right? To report questions. So in our classes, okay, quick question from Lim. How about shall? Shall becomes should, right? But should will stay as should, right? So if the direct speech has shall, change it to should. If it has can, change it to could. So you can change the tenses. What I'm saying is that those that are already in past tense, could, should, would, do not change further, right? Now, the next one, we're talking about questions. So we have Mary asked John, where did you go yesterday, right? So some students are not very confident when they are transforming questions. There are a few ways to do it, but what we like to do is to kind of teach students to do a working step, right? So this is how it works. So first be the person being asked. So John is going to reply Mary, and John is going to say, I went, because did you go, right? It's a past tense. So I went. Now the answer doesn't matter. We just want to preserve the structure of the response of the sentence. So I went blank yesterday. So we will use John's response to convert that into reported speech. So the question stem is Mary asked John. First step is to extract the question word where. So Mary asked John where, and then we refer to John's statement. I becomes he, because John is the speaker. Went, simple past tense, becomes had gone, right? And yesterday becomes the previous day. So Mary asked John where he had gone the previous day. Now this step is, I feel, one of the safest ways to do it. However, some students feel that it is difficult to craft that one sentence, which is fine, right? Some students will then use other methods, such as when you see past tense did, cancel this did, right? And then change go into the past tense of go went, right? And then Mary asked John where, because you've already cancelled did, right? Where he when becomes had gone the previous day. Some students can do that, right? So either you write one step, extra step here where John responds to Mary, or you do a little bit of like cancellation and abbreviate and annotation here. Cancel did, change go to went, and so on. Both are okay, but I find that with a few cancellations, students sometimes, if they had made mistakes in the first few cancellations, the first time they cancel, it gets a little bit confusing for them. So to be safe, I still want them to write this out, and then we do that. Now, what if it's a yes or no kind of question, right? So if it's a yes or no kind of question, meaning the question requires a yes or no response, then the word whether or if is necessary, right? So for example, mother asked, will you be back for dinner, right? So your response, so me, is I will, or not, doesn't matter, be back for dinner. So mother asked if or whether I would be back for dinner. Will becomes would. Now, I always encourage students to use if and not whether, because there is a slight chance that they will spell the whether wrongly, okay? Especially when it becomes W-E-A-T-H-E-R, okay? Now the next one, Ken asked him, what did you have for dinner last night? Okay, so what I would do is I would be him and respond to Ken, right? So I had blank pizza, something, for dinner last night. Okay, so Ken asked him, so I'm going to extract the question word what first, and then use this question, use this sentence to change to reported speech. So it's going to look like this. Okay, now Ken asked him what he had for dinner the previous night. Okay, now why had? This is actually simple past tense. Now remember, simple past tense need to change to past perfect, right? So past perfect starts with had, and then this is already perfect tense. So had for dinner the previous night. I intentionally use had tonight so that you can see that it is possible. Some students, when we first have questions that involves having the past perfect tense of had, were quite uncertain or did not really believe me right away when I tell them that there is a possibility that we can have the past perfect tense of had into had, right? But once we've done it once, I think no one is surprised anymore, right? So first step is to change is to respond to can. Use a statement, respond to can as closely to the structure as possible. And then subsequently, using this, do a close conversion, right? Then you should be fine. Hi, this is Dr. Daniel Chua. I hope the video that you have just watched will be helpful to your child in preparation for PSLE English. So if you are interested to sign up for any of our programs, please feel free to check out this QR code, and then you can then find out more about what we do to help our students at Cognitus Academy. All right, thank you.